Hey, goes 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Now here we go. Herman Host is discussing acquisitions, and we gonna get into it. Hey, how's everybody doing? Hope y'all are having a wonderful time and you are finding creative ways to keep it gaming. I know how it can be. Life starts to compete for your time, and there are so many priorities and so many things that need to get done, but I hope you are finding ways to keep it gaming. I hope you are using all of your skills and resources at your disposal to make sure that you get to keep it gaming, because when you're surrounded by greatness, you cannot let greatness go untouched. You feel me? Okay, so definitely got some news we need to talk about. Some pretty big news, especially the way these bots was talking, which is another story for another day. Y'all know how they do. So apparently there's some acquisition news afoot that's floating around in the Pegasus Nation, and we're going to give you the breakdown on what's going on and why it is more likely true than not. And when I say more likely true than not, I mean like this is probably a done deal. Of course, we won't know for sure until Sony decides to speak on it themselves. But when you know where to look and you know all the right people in all the right places, and you got people on the inside reaching out telling you things, then obviously you got a bit of a head start. So I'm going to go ahead and break this down so y'all can see exactly how these things have been put together. Number one, in a recent interview with IGN, Herman Host let everyone know that Sony is not done with acquisitions. Okay, he made it very clear that they're still on the lookout. And so that's the first thing. He's letting us know that after they purchased Bluepoint, that they are still in the acquisition business. They are not done. They haven't closed the door on acquisitions. So even though Bluepoint just joined the family, there are still some more to be done. The job is not finished. Okay, so this is great news, right? We all know and we all talk about this organic growth, and we all love it, right? So let me explain what that is real quick for people that don't understand. So when we talk about organic growth, what we're really meaning is the relationship between the two parties. When that relationship is harmonious, that is organic. When the things fit together nice and smooth, and the piece that you're adding to the whole, it fits right into the collective so smoothly that you can't even tell that you've added a new piece. And the reason that you can't tell is because it just fit together so perfectly. It's like it was always there, a part of that bigger whole. I don't know how many of you out there use sports and watch sports, but there's a very common sports metaphor which basically says you need a team, not just a bunch of individuals running around doing their own thing. And we have seen this thousands of times in business, sports, and so many other areas where the team, the people that work together well, like a smooth, harmonious team, they will outperform another group, even though that other group may have a higher profile or more flashy individuals on the team, and they may have higher stats, or their credentials may make it seem like they're just supposed to get so much done. But when you look at it, their impact and their output is so small compared to the other team. And it isn't because this one is full of superstars, but it is simply because they work well together. That is the organic growth that we are accustomed to as PlayStation gamers. As gamers that are accustomed to greatness and excellence, we are accustomed to all of the collective working well together. There is a standard of excellence that we expect to be maintained. Now, in order to achieve that harmony and to make sure that things run smoothly, traditionally, Sony only acquires organizations that they have already built a relationship with over years and years, decades of working together. So we already know that Bluepoint will work well in the Sony way because they have been working with Sony in the Sony way for over 20 years. When Sony purchased Housemarque, same thing. They have been working together for at least a decade or more, and they know that the fit has already been established. That's why we want organic growth, because they already have a solid working relationship. There are no surprises. They know how to get things done in the Sony way. Now, we all understand why organic growth is good, but here's the thing that's so interesting about this. Sony, for almost the entirety of the PlayStation's life cycle, have focused on organic growth. There's evidence out there that now Sony is willing, for whatever reason, to let go of that requirement that things be organic, and they're starting to consider relationships that are inorganic. So where are we getting this from? Why do we now believe that Sony is willing to look at inorganic relationships? Well, right here in this article, Herman Hulst speaks clearly that we are always open to building new relationships or bringing people in-house. So that's the first clue. In addition to this, we have Sony Interactive Entertainment tweeting several times mentioning the word inorganic. In addition to that, and this is the big one, Sony has posted a job listing, and they are trying to hire someone for corporate development. And specifically in the job description, they have listed twice that they are looking for someone that is skilled in inorganic growth. That's huge. So clearly Sony have switched directions, and they are seriously considering inorganic growth. And actually, it's not the point where they're seriously considering it. They have actually committed to it. They are looking for experts in this field to help them transition into inorganic growth. That is a really big deal. Now, in order to keep this video short, I'm going to skip over some things because I could really go into detail about this job listing, which I may do in a future video. But the key here is that Sony is very serious about inorganic growth. So, given that they're now serious about inorganic growth, what type of opportunities does this create for them? What does this mean for Pegasus Nation? Well, I tell you, to make a long story short, it means that they can acquire something bigger than they have been acquiring before. So specifically, it means that entire publishers are now on the table. So instead of acquiring an excellent dev shop here and there, they are poised to buy an entire publisher. That's huge. That is extremely huge. And there's more. They actually are poised to buy more than one publisher. I'm telling you, they are ready to shock the world. Now, let me explain to you why they are poised to acquire more than one publisher. Okay, so now before I go into that, let's make sure that we're all following along. So let me do a quick recap. Number one, Herman Hulst has been on the record that Sony is not done acquiring. That's number one. Number two, both Herman and Sony have started to mention the term inorganic. And next, Sony is specifically hiring for someone who is an expert at identifying inorganic growth opportunities through acquisitions, investments, or joint ventures. So now, given all of that, we also know that Sony has recently liquefied $18 to $24 billion US dollars in cash. What does that mean? That means that they have taken some of their holdings and some of their wealth that weren't actually in cash form, and they have converted it into cash form. Further, they are looking for a line of credit from somewhere around the $10 billion mark from the Bank of Japan. And there's another bank that they also work with It's a Japanese name. I can't pronounce it, so I'm not going to try to say it. But there are two banks where up to $10 billion line of credit have been extended. Okay, so we got all this money floating around, but the money is not just sitting there in the bank, right? So they didn't liquefy everything and then have the money sitting in a pile in the bank. No, there are three legal firms, three holding firms that are in play. That money has been distributed to three holding firms, one in America and two in Japan. Now, what this usually means is that some contracts have been drawn up, agreements have been made, and that money is going to be spent. That's why they give it to other people. You do not take your money and put it with someone else unless that someone else is going to be doing something with that money on your behalf. Usually that is an acquisition. They're going to be acquiring something on your behalf as a legal entity or a representative for something that you want to buy. Right, so this is all very exciting, right? Now, 24 billion does not get you an EA. It does not get you someone like Take-Two or really any of the other big Western publishers. However, when you look at somebody like Sega, a Japanese publisher who is valued at market cap at around 3.5 billion, Square Enix, 6.5 billion, Capcom, 5.5 billion. Now it starts to look a little more interesting because buying controlling stakes in those, yes, 100% they could absolutely get that done with the money that they've liquefied. That will then net them three whole publishers, three publishers, and still have money left over to grab somebody like Kojima Productions, Cığıᴜ, and maybe even a couple of Western studios. So they not playing. They mean business. Sony is definitely out here making moves, doing things the right way. Okay, are y'all still with me? Y'all sleep? What's going on? Hey, all jokes aside though, y'all are the real MVPs for supporting the channel and the content that I'm producing. Appreciate it. I'm definitely feeling the love. If you ended up enjoying what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button for your boy. Definitely would appreciate it. And if you are enjoying the content and you want more of it, definitely go ahead and subscribe. And you know how we do. You can keep the conversation going. You know where to find me on Twitter. Leave a comment here on the video. I try to respond to every comment that I get. So definitely reach out to your boy. Let me know how you feeling about the content. And make sure you pay attention to this space because I'm definitely going to be back with more updates. There's a lot going on in Pegasus Nation, and your boy, the PlayStation Hero, definitely got you covered with all the latest and greatest information. Peace.